What is up? It's your boys here. Too many fucking jams coming at you.
Travie fucking smokes.
Dead ass, dude. Fucking big vape clouds over here. Just kidding. This is new. This was just
video. We have video now.
What's up, YouTube?
This is going to be new for 2019. Travis and I, we're just going over some stuff.
We did it. This is our final episode of season 1.
We made it.
We made it. We made a commitment to do an episode every other week for the entire year, and this is the final one. And we fucking did it, dude. We set a goal, and we achieved it.
And we said that we've said this to many people, that this podcast was as much accountability project as it was a creative endeavor, as it was, for our own personal growth. So, a couple bud heavies here.
Let's get this nice open on.
In it.
Ooh, crisp. Ooh.
There we go. How's that go down? Cheers.
Pretty fucking good. So this is it, our final episode. We are going to go back through history. We're going to talk about all our tops from the year. We're going to talk about the future. We're going to talk about season 2 and what's to come. And should we get into it, Verno?
Let's get into it. Jam on, Vern.
And jam on, Robbo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
A little early.
Holy shit, I hate those guys.
Fuck those guys.
Somebody help these 20. It's time to figure it out, Ricky. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
I gotta say,
we fucked that intro up big time.
yes, that, but also you being the palateless freak that you are.
Yeah, what about me?
I was expecting these beers to be warm.
Oh no, dude. I'm not a savage. Funny enough, I actually do like warm beer. I'm sorry, I said it.
But it's nice that these are crispy cold.
So we have a couple crispy cold ones. Let's get right into it. Robbie and I made a list of our top 10s from 2018.
We did a top 10.
Looking back, we are going to go through our favorite song, band, our favorite memory, our favorite concert we've been to, and our favorite concert we played, our biggest achievement, our turkey of the year. Turkey of the year, if you're unfamiliar, is just our biggest fuck up. Our favorite slangs, our resolutions. Let's get into it, Rob. What's your Spotify recap looking like there?
Okay, so Spotify, I guess we'll start with the stats. 40,554 minutes.
If you're wondering, that's a month
of listening time. It's quite a bit. 6,004 songs, and my artist with the most common sign, I guess it is.
It tells you the astrological sign.
Yeah, the astrological sign of the artist you had most in common was Scorpio. My favorite song was Angel by Sticky Fingers. Favorite band, Angus and Julia Stone. And my favorite concert that I went to had to be Future Islands in London. That was fantastic.
I've been waiting on you. That guy's such a freak. I love him.
He's crazy. You know what? If you haven't, I suggest you go see them live because they are fantastic. And also, if you haven't noticed, a bit of a recurring theme with my music is that a lot of the people I listen to are Australian.
Oh,
so,
dude, same. I'm looking at my things here.
Lots of good stuff coming out of Australia.
My most listened to song was a song called Big Words by Soul Jam. I know nothing about that band. Pretty sure they're Australian.
I think they are.
I listened to 13,000 minutes. So comparing to Robbie's 40,000, how the fuck do you listen to that much music? I feel like I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, I just have it going at all times of the day. Anything I'm doing. An
interesting stat that I don't think you brought up, but it said 60% of my artists are non-mainstream artists.
What does that mean? What qualifies you to be mainstream versus non-mainstream?
Oh, ask fucking Elon Musk or whoever makes Spotify.
Probably around like a certain amount of streams, or like yearly streams or something.
Whatever. Anyway, my artists are Gemini. We have to look into the meaning of this later. I'm a Leo. What are you?
I'm a Taurus.
A Ford Taurus?
So, yeah, I know nothing about astrological signs. So, I mean, all you...
My knowledge ends at ass.
Dead ass?
Dead ass, dude. My favorite band. Okay, it says my top bands. I don't know, like my top bands were Sticky Fingers.
Wait, also one more comment on that. On the signs, it said Scorpio for my artists, but also it only listed 2 artists that were Scorpios. So I don't know how
accurate that is.
Yeah.
But like all the bands I've listened to are pretty similar, like Catfish and the Bottlemen Gang of Youths. I want to give a shout out to the fact that in my most listened artists, 1, 2, 3 of them of the 5 were our friends. So big shout out to Loud Luxury for making my top listened artists.
Really, eh?
Oh yeah, Wise Beats. Shout out to my boy Wise. I love that guy's raps. That's why the first concert we did, I begged him to come do the closeout, and
he was great at that concert.
I know, I love. Okay,
yeah,
back him. And Ezra Jordan, obviously our main man. We had him on the show. We've also listened to obviously like Scott Goodwin and our buddy Luke Hauer, but I guess they didn't make it into the top. Sorry, boys, gotta start listening more. Let's go to favorite memory of the year. What you got?
Favorite memory of the year was a music video. That was something.
Let's go.
That was so fun. Night after Trav's sister's wedding, and I thought I was gonna be much more dead ass than I was, but that was so fun. We showed up there, and they had so many crew members, like beyond anything that Travis and I were expecting. They had a person for everything, you know. They had lights, they had camera, they had makeup, they had wardrobe, they had set designer, they had director, everything.
They had a mural artist do a mural in the basement of the house. So not to spoil too much of the video, but basically one of our friends who's a home builder who we're going to have on the episode as well, or sorry, who we're going to have on
a future episode
he was just like, dude, I'm demolishing this nice house in Lawrence Park. He's like, you guys should shoot a music video there. You can do whatever you want. So not to spoil too much of it, but we basically had a graffiti artist do an entire mural in a basement room. We emptied out the pool in the backyard, cement pool.
You know, it's kind of a shame. I was thinking back on that artist spent like all morning doing that graffiti, and we filmed maybe 2 short clips in it.
No, because you did
what?
Your whole scene in there. Your whole like singing. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And Tompkins did a sick time lapse. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Which is also very cool.
So favorite memory was definitely for me as well, partly shooting this video because it was the same weekend as my sister's wedding. I'm going to be honest, my sister's wedding was the best day of my life so far. Like
your life.
Well, I don't know, just like in terms of like big happy moments in my life, like my sister found a husband. I love him. The wedding was so cool. It was so well done. I've been telling people I'm a pretty emotionalist guy. And I felt real emotion for the first time. Like for like the first moment of my life, I didn't care at all about anything else other than like my sister and her husband's happiness. And it was such a special day. And then all our friends and family were there. We ended up partying all night long into the next morning, which was our music video shoot. So I pulled an all-nighter before the music video, not 1 hour of sleep. I was wrecked. Luckily, we had a makeup artist.
Yeah.
And that whole music video, man, we felt we were famous. Like there was behind-the-scenes photographers, makeup, wardrobe. It was a 12-hour shoot. Crew was rolling in and out. Like
it was pretty cool,
dude. It was
so fun. I loved being the center of attention for that day.
Imagine what the future's like when you become like a big famous artist. Like that's your life.
That'd be so dope.
So definitely.
And I think it. Oh, here's my phone going. Hold on. 1 second.
Later.
And I think it worked out. The partying all night kind of worked in your favor because the emotion that was captured for the scenes was dead on.
Was dead ass on.
Dead ass
It was
on.
raw, unfiltered. Yeah, the crew was like, they were like, holy fuck, like you're acting
can
these
act.
scenes out so well. And I'm like, I can't feel anything right now. So maybe the key to being a good actor is being emotionless and like not being able to feel a thing.
I mean, good thing you're not a narcoleptic like me, or else you would have.
You know how hard that day was, man? I am telling you. Remember how many
imagine.
times I came up to you and was like, I'm in hell.
Yeah.
Like I'm in my own hell. Anyway, let's go to our favorite concerts from the year. You brought me to this band, Gang of Youths.
Yeah.
I'd listened to a few of their songs, and they had one good song I liked. They weren't even on my radar. And you're like, no, just come see them live. What bar was that at?
It was at Velvet Underground.
Velvet Underground. We got up real close to the front, and this band rocked my fucking dick off. Clean.
You know what? I've never taken you a bad show. Eh?
Nope.
Every time something like either interesting happens or
Dude, no, fuck that concert. The best concert you took me to was the Gang Youth concert was the best concert I've been to. Just so much like emotion, good band. We ended up seeing them again. But on Robbie's birthday, Robbie dragged me to a lot of weird concerts. You might
something always happens.
You might hear next episode. We're releasing a special Christmas bonus episode where we just got drunk and told a big story. But
that was one of those.
That
times.
was one of those times you brought me to a concert. Another time, Robbie on his birthday was like, "Trav, come out to this band called Pond," and I'm like, "Fuck you, all right."
And just to give a little context for anyone who doesn't know the band Pond, they're kind of like a sister band to Tame Impala. They've got a lot of members that play in Tame Impala, and they have this side band Pond, which is also kind of similar genre type psychedelic rock deal.
Yeah, which was they were a great band, but the opener was this guy Kieran J. Callanan.
Yeah, that's it.
I want you to Google it. He's an Australian cowboy hipster indie rocker. One of the weirdest guys.
Weird dude.
I could not believe what I was at. He was going up there just making noises. He did one song where he told his band to go off stage, no instruments, and he told the crowd to imagine instruments. And he started rocking out and like doing like weird, like he was like as if there was a song playing, like moving his body so weird. And then the song was called The Toddler, and he's like, I'm the toddler. And he's like dancing and snapping and like clapping his hands. He's like, I'm the motherfucking toddler. And we're sitting there. I'm like, Rob, what the fuck is this? I haven't, like this, he dragged me to the show.
I had no idea either that this guy was opening. And that was the first like encounter with his music and this guy, and he had the weirdest band like dynamic going on.
Just Google his videos.
We'll throw, you know what? We'll throw The Toddler in the show notes because it's worth watching to see it, so you can actually get a sense for what this was like.
Also, this may or may not be true, but I have this weird memory because we were pretty fucked up, but we were talking with the band outside after because it was a pretty small show.
Yeah.
And I forget if one of the people we were with or somebody was like, he just whipped his dick out or something after the show.
I can't.
I remember it pretty vividly. I remember most dick things that happened in my life.
Yeah.
And I remember that, so I'm going to go with it happened.
It rings a bell.
It rings a bell, doesn't it?
It might have been like one of the people we were with.
Just said, or it was either happened there or someone said it happened to them.
Yeah.
This guy like whipped it out on stage.
Like I wouldn't be surprised. Weird dude.
Okay. Biggest achievement of the year. Like I know yours is more general.
Yeah.
And ours are pretty similar. So I'm just going to pick a specific thing. A really big thing that happened for me this year is I got the part in a mainstream Bud Light commercial. Not a big deal.
That was big for you because you know what? Because you were going to so many of these auditions for these parts, and then you finally landed one, and it was one of the sort of more like substantial parts.
Dude, right? I was I forgot what the main actors' names are in videos, primary or something like that, but I got paid like $2,000. I was on set for 12 hours. We had our own like food service, hair, makeup. It was a pretty big part, and especially I have no acting experience. I'd only been to like 8 auditions by that point, and I land a principal. That's at a principal role, and it was on mainstream TV all summer. I saw it all summer on sports channels. So like I'm kind of a big deal, not a big deal.
Big deal.
That does lead me to my turkey, though. I could probably go into that real quick.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Dive into that.
Okay, so the only reason why I have agents and even got these auditions is because one of our family friends is a famous actress. She's in a lot of movies and stuff like that, and we're really close with their family. And I was just like, I really want to try acting. Like, I love it, and this year was the year of like doing and figuring things out. So we reached out to our family friends, and they, I'm not going to name any names, but the mom of this girl that's an actress is an absolute saint, and she basically was like, oh yeah, you want to do some acting? Went right to the agency that manages her daughter and was like, please help this kid out, get some roles, represent him. And it was a bit of a rough start. Like, they brought me in really reluctantly. They're like, fuck, we have to help this loser out. I came in with long hair and a beard. They're like, you're uncastable.
And then you tried shooting your own.
Yeah, they said send in your headshots a video reel of you acting, and that's like so much money to do. I did it myself, and I sent it in, and let's just say I didn't hear back from them for like 3 months. And the mom of our family friend, or I guess
kind of like when you shoot your shot and you just get.
Oh, it was bad, and she kept on them, was like, give them another chance. I got professional headshots done by our buddy Braden Hedrickson, and then finally they started sending me to roles once I had enough did about 8 auditions, and I got a part, which is a really big deal. Like, it's they were like, whoa, like that's a big deal to get a part that soon, especially without a resume. Been working with these people for a year. My turkey is I was bartending an event during Fashion Week, and my face blindness finally caught up with me.
Prosopagnosia. That's it.
Okay,
yes.
I don't know if I'm actually face blind or just I have a bad memory with faces, but I fucking forget them. I forget entire people, and it's nothing about the person. These agents have done a lot for me. And I bump into these people at a party or at this bartending event. I'm walking through the crowd with some product, and they go, Travis, like, what's up? And this happens to me all the time. Travis, what's up? And I have no fucking clue who it is. For some reason, my things don't click. The pathways aren't there, and
when I'm around, I save them the odd time.
Saves me all the time, and I'm like, hey, like, what's up? What's going on? And right away I'm farming it because I have no idea what's going on, and I'm like, oh, I was like, when's the last time I saw you? Which is something I say a lot to make the connection, and they'll go like, oh, at this concert. I'm like, right. That's our memory, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And they go, at the office? And I'm like, holy fuck, I've been to a lot of offices this year. And I'm like, right, what's going on? And they could clearly tell that I didn't know who they were. They were starting to make faces. And I was like, guys, I don't know who you are. It was my 2 agents. It was my agents. The people, I probably sent them an email last week. And they're like, it's your agents? And I was like, am I fired? Am I like, is this it? Did I just ruin my career? And then my agent's like, you want to know the truth? She's like, I didn't recognize you either. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I deal with her assistant agent who is there as well, who I guess is her Robbie, who was like, that's Travis. And I was like, I had to apologize. Biggest turkey of the year. Like, to be honest, I haven't got a commercial since.
But didn't you go get flowers for her or something?
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe I'll drop off a Christmas gift.
Never mind. I thought you said you were trying to.
Yeah, I was gonna smooth it
redeem
over.
yourself with that one a little bit.
Absolute turkey move. So I'm sure they don't watch this, but if they do, I'm so sorry, and I'll be better. What's your achievement and turkey?
So I was just thinking my turkey's kind of similar in a way. I just kind of farmed a bit of a relationship, but. Biggest achievement, I think. I don't think there's just one standout thing for me, but more in general that I'm kind of moving along a path like that I want. Like, I'm comfortable, doing stuff that I want to do right now with like music and creative work and bartending and with sort of all the.
You're doing stuff finally.
Yeah, like overarching, like everything that I'm doing right now is kind of what I wanted to be doing.
Keep the mic centered there, Bruno.
Yeah, it's good. You know, like with the music, I wanted to be doing music. I'm doing music, and got things rolling there primarily. I'd say
you started a business. You started a real estate company.
Yeah, yeah,
dude,
it's coming along slowly.
Yeah, your achievement is more general. It's the fact that you went from
doing nothing
to actually doing things towards your dreams, and I think that's a massive achievement. You come a long way.
Yeah.
But you still fucked up one thing real big.
The turkey. So our friend Tristram got us this gig at Earls to play. I mean, Travis and I, we've been looking for acoustic gigs to play throughout the city because just it's much easier than having the whole band come out. We show up with 2 guitars and 2 microphones, and we get to play, and we make a little bit of money because we played so many free shows this past year. But anyways, our friend set this up for us to play at Earls, and it was a tap in.
It was a fucking gimme.
It was a tap in birdie, you know, and I just let this one slide completely out of my hands. But Tristram sets this meeting up with this woman to coordinate this gig, right? So I go in there, I meet with her, schmooze a little bit, you know, everything's going well, and we're like setting up for, you know, a couple days from now that we're gonna play.
She gave us 2 dates in the month.
Yeah, she gave us 2 dates
in 1 month, and this is a high-paying gig. And I basically spent the money already because this was such a tap-in. I was like, we got it.
Yeah, right. And so I'm supposed to negotiate prices with her, and I send her a note. She doesn't get back to me until the night before, when she says, okay, yes, that's fine.
You didn't send her just a note. You were like, we're trying to figure out the decision, and like how do we price ourselves? We have no idea. We've never really done a lot of paid gigs.
Because people always just tell us.
They tell us what they pay us. So she's like, what do you want to get paid? And that's a tough question. And I give Robbie credit for just being like, no, we ask for something big. You know, let's ask for 450. It's 3 hours. You know, we're talented. And I was like, I back that. Sent her a 450. I knew that was big, but we thought she was going to negotiate us down.
Yeah, I was expecting her to negotiate. And so I went in a little high, maybe a little too high. But anyways, she didn't get back till the night before. And she's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good since it's last minute. But like moving forward, we might have to negotiate like a different price or whatever. I was like, okay, that's fine. But I called,
turkey.
I called Trav right after. I was like, ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, he was like, I fucking got us 450. And I was like, Robbie, you motherfucking gangster. Like, everything's good. Biggest rookie mistake, didn't confirm it right away.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot. It was late, and I figured, okay, you know what, I'll just respond to it in the morning. Anyways, she emails me back in the morning being like, I spoke to our other manager, and we've decided we're just gonna, it was the same night as the Leafs home opener, so she's like, we've decided we're just gonna put the music or the Leafs game on and have the volume for that going.
Save
for the
them
night.
$450.
Yeah, right. So she's like, sorry, we're not gonna do tonight and stuff. And so then I was like, fuck, like what do I do then? Because, you know, we both had to book off work. I could have been like bartending all afternoon. I had like big shift lined up and everything. And so I was trying to figure out what to do. And then I got some advice telling me that I should send her a note, be like, that's fine, but ask for a cancellation fee. So I was thinking about it. I was a little hesitant about it. I was like,
what do you mean hesitant? You fired her that email without even asking me.
Yeah, well,
you called me after. You're like, yeah, I just asked for a cancellation fee. I was like, you did what? I was like, are you fucked? I was like, a cancellation fee?
Well, I got some advice being like, I don't like, yeah, it's saying that you got to treat it like a business, and like artists get pushed around too much sometimes, and just ask for it, you know, and you know, shoot your shot. So anyways, I asked for it, and it didn't really sit well with her. And she's like, that's not gonna happen.
She's like, that's a big no. She's like, one, you didn't even confirm the gig, let alone to get a cancellation fee. She's like, we're going to go ahead and not pay that.
Yeah.
And then she stopped responding.
She stopped responding, so I haven't heard from her since. But you know what? I've spoke to our contact at Earls, and it seems like everything it can still there's still opportunity there. We can still smooth it over. I think I just kind of worked it up in my head that like to be a little more dramatic than it was, since I haven't spoken to her.
Well,
but
when she told our contact there her side of the story, it was exactly our nightmare. She's like, these fucking guys came and asked for $450, didn't even confirm it, asked for a cancellation fee. She's like, no fucking way. Okay, lesson learned: when someone offers you something, email them right back and confirm it.
Yeah.
Lesson 2: cancellation fees, for sure. Ask for it. A, if you've confirmed it. B, if it's like a long-term relationship or something and they really maybe fucked you over.
Yeah.
But also C, you always have to weigh the cost benefit of getting a cancellation fee versus the future money you can earn by kind of soaking it and getting a few gigs at theirs. You know, say we earned $300 to $400 for the next couple gigs. Yeah, we didn't get our $100 cancellation fee or whatever, but
it's on my list still. I'm gonna fix it. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get the gig.
It's also and
but
it's also not the biggest deal. Like,
we could have played like 4 gigs.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm angry about the money I lost, and it's a great joke now. Also, I get to rip on Rob all the time. Like when he cancels on me or when he's late, I ask for a cancellation fee or a late fee. No, it's not the biggest deal. Like, I make huge mistakes all the time, but they only affect me. So this was just funny that it affected Robin. We don't give a fuck. Like, he'll smooth it over. It's just a good turkey.
I remember when I went into that meeting on Monday, I called you beforehand. I was like, is there anything you want me to say or anything? You're like, no, man, I completely trust you. Like, you're good with this stuff, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was like, this is good experience for you. Like, this is a tap in. You could fart this one in. I thought there's no way to fuck this up. And I was like, get the experience. If the
wind had blown just a little bit, you know, the ball
would have
sunk into the hole.
Good. That's a good turkey though. And lesson learned, all you Too Many Jams listeners out there. Yeah, let's we'll get that.
It'll happen.
Let's go into
moving on.
Slang
or favorite show we did.
Favorite show we played, right? Because we're famous musicians ourselves. Ours are probably mutual.
Yeah, I think it was Norris's party at the Pilot.
Norris, you beauty, I know you're listening right now. I know that because you're listed as one of our top listeners.
Yeah, top 3 listeners of the year, actually.
At least on SoundCloud. I don't know about iTunes. It doesn't give us names on iTunes. But Norris, your party was unreal. Yeah. There was about 150 people there. Everyone was sloshed. We got up there like full, like classic rock star style, and that was probably one of the best concerts.
That was
most fun.
We played 20 concerts this year.
Yeah, we played a lot of concerts. And we played big venues, small venues.
So we appreciate you, Norris, for having us out.
And we hope everyone had a good time. Special mentions were opening up for Ezra Jordan at Supermarket.
Yes, that was also fantastic.
Playing our old frat house. Again, another 150 personer, just drunk, loving the music, vibing along, silly string flying, beer spraying. That was a rough and tumble concert. Loved to shout out those boys.
That was great.
Yeah, we had a lot of good ones. You know, playing the Brickworks, playing Chill Ice Bar for Tiger.
We played Jenny's event too, which was
Jenny's
great.
event was great.
Hideout or Hideaway.
Hideout.
I think it's Hideout. It was fun.
Dude, we played Dance
Cave
as well.
It was dope.
We played a lot of shows.
Yeah.
In the last 6 months too. So
a lot.
Let's go to our favorite slangs or sayings.
Okay.
You've heard a couple already. Farmed.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Farm just means you fucked it up, like you farmed it. If you watch The Illusion on Instagram, he's like the surfer guy that's like, coming in from spaceship Earth, it's The Illusion, and he gives himself a bowl cut, and he like clips one hair wrong, and he's like, as you can see, I kind of fucking farmed it over here. That's a good one. Gassed, we wrote a song about it, when a girl just gasses you, or a guy, I guess.
Or just anything, you get gassed.
Or like the girl at Earls gassed us.
Yeah, like she won't respond to my emails, she's gassing my emails.
Famos, our band name, John Famos, actually comes from a slang that we used to say, like, for like anything fame inducing, like if we were to do a photo shoot or get in a commercial or like do anything, it's like basically getting famous.
Yeah. Shoot a famous.
Shoot a famous is basically just a photo shoot.
I gotta give a little credit. Shout out to Gobesy there.
Shout out to Gobes. Dead ass, love that one. It's from
I don't actually use that.
I kind of use it. It's from a YouTube video where it's like this like 14-year-old kid who's like Maddie fucking smokes on YouTube. And he's like, dead ass, dude, this is like, I got the biggest heady right now. And he's like, what? It's your boy Maddie fucking smokes up in the building. So a lot of energy there. Partrons
is hilarious. So the Good Life that we work out at, into the parking lot, they put up this sign. Like this had to be about a year ago that they put up this sign, and there's like leaving into the parking lot, and on it they use the word, I forget what the message is on it or something.
It's like all parking lot patrons or all Good Life patrons must do X, or like...
Yeah, they use the word patrons, except they got these new signs printed, and the guy who printed the signs completely farmed it, and he put patrons on it with an R. It's ridiculous.
And then they Sharpied the R out. They didn't even get a new sign.
Yeah, I was like, am I the only one noticing this? And then I pointed it out to Trav and Kristen like a couple weeks ago, and
now we can't stop saying patrons. We also say bread a lot, ironically, but bread, is our slang word for working out, not even for getting money. Because Robbie, Kristen, and I are workout buddies, and for some reason, get this bread was not about money for us. It was about working out. So now, anytime we work out, the message isn't like, you want to work out, like a group message will come through and it'll just be grain ? Let's acquire this.
Fetch a couple bagels. And I'll be like, I can get a baguette right now. Bread, grain, wheat, yeast. Yeet this wheat. Acquire gluten. That's our slang for working out. What's some of our resolutions for 2019? Resolutions, I'm going to say, I just want to be more... Whoa. That was loud. I'm going to be more of a doer in the new year. A doer and a finisher.
A dozer.
I like that.
Robbie's a dozer. Dude,
I'm going to be a dozer.
You definitely... Robbie is struggling the hardest with completing tasks. He'll start 10, he'll nudge 10 forward a little bit, not a finisher.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be your 2019?
Yeah.
It's gonna
2019.
So it's safe
finisher.
to say Robbie's gonna finish all over 2019. Let's go.
I like that. And for you? Resolutions for you?
I want to be more consistent. I don't really like resolutions. I hate resolutions mainly because my gym gets so busy in January and all these fucking pigeons. That's a Spit and Chicklets slang as well that I wanted to bring up.
For people...
Pigeons are just like bottom feeders, like... they use it in the NHL for the people around the net that just pick up the trash, or like fans that are annoying. All these pigeons come in January and they're like, I want to get fit. And I'm like, get off the bench press. I'm like, fuck you. I've been doing this for 3 years. Like, you're going to be gone in a week.
But you know what's nice about our schedule is that we can go midday when no one's there, when everyone else is at their full-time jobs.
if by no one you mean the entire... Well, the Good Life we work out is in a school. It's at Mount Pleasant and Davisville, and there's a school in the same building, and they have their gym classes in the workout room. Holy fuck, that I'm burping away here. So there's a bunch of preteen kids in there. When we're working out, 1, they stink. 2, they fucking stink. 3, there's 100 of them running around.
But you know what? I'll compliment them on one thing. They've got very entertaining locker room chatter.
The banter.
The banter is great.
I feel it makes me feel young again. Yeah, you know what? I'm complaining too much here. That's not
but
actually
also
the
it
biggest
also
deal.
makes me think. I'm like, I hope I wasn't that much of a loser. And
You know what it is? Everyone talks about how nice it was being young, and I look at these kids and I am so happy I'm not that age again.
Yeah.
They're awkward. One kid's got a beard and his buddy hasn't even got pubic hair yet. And I'm like, wow, what a weird time to be alive. Like when like there's such different development and they're talking about like their problems and stuff like that, like being grounded. And I'm like, fuck that. The best age was like 19 years old when you were moved out and you were still stupid, but you were an adult enough that you could like do whatever you want.
in university.
And you had pubes. So like it wasn't like your buddy had pubes and you didn't or something. So
Also, can I just say one thing? This couch we're sitting on right now
suck shit.
is heavily sunk in. This is how we're sitting right now. We're sitting like in a V right now,
Yeah, it's
but also like slanting forward. So
you know what? I find it comfortable. If
if you're questioning my posture, it's not me. It's the
forces
couch.
you to sit like a fucking slob. Like I'm at a 45-degree angle backwards right now.
Yeah.
No, okay.
I'm like also a 45-degree angle sideways.
It angles towards the center of the couch and forward, so our butts are touching.
we're like in a half pipe right now.
couple butt touchers. What were we talking about? The good life. Oh yeah, I don't like resolutions because
All the pigeons.
and their resolutions, like I'm gonna give up drinking and fucking or like whatever it is, and then like January 20th comes along and they like they break it all, and I don't want to be like, I don't like being part of
like
that.
oh, I'm gonna give up drinking the whole month, and then I've read some articles about that too, how it just is honestly, it promotes you to drink more in the following months too, how it's like it really doesn't like cure your health in any way.
No.
It's just like have some moderation.
Yeah,
be
just have
balanced.
self-control. You don't need New Year's to nail it. Ben is a big proponent of that, and he actually fired us up for December. He's like, I want to go into 2019 swinging. He's like, I want to already be running. I want to have a great December so that 2019 is not like a time when I start stuff. So we had a great December. We've been crushing it.
Speaking of that, with Travis and Ben, I didn't get a bunch of tasks done.
Oh yeah,
that I said I was going to set out to do 2 weeks ago.
Can I preface it that we still do our accountability call, Ben, Robbie, and I, every Sunday. We get on the phone, we set out our tasks for the week, and we talk about what happened last week, if we did or didn't meet it. And we used to have a financial penalty if you didn't meet it. Like you'd put $50 into the pot and we'd invest it in some like risky stock.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I really need that money, and I'm also not financially motivated, so spending $50 wasn't like enough of a motivator. So we set creative punishments now. Stuff like, what are you most afraid of? Robbie was like really afraid of doing like an open mic poetry slam, so that was his punishment 1 week. I suck at cardio, so I set 10K. I have to run a 10K on the treadmill, and Robbie 1 week set the 10K as well as one of yours.
It was last week or the week prior. I set the 10K as my punishment, and I didn't do what I set out to do. So I hopped on the treadmill.
Treadmill, dude. Treadmill.
Treadmill. I can't fix it. Sorry.
You say treadmill 100 times a year, and every time I'm like, mill? Treadmill, mill?
So I hopped on the treadmill 2 days ago.
It's meal. I'm just fuck.
I wish it was a fucking meal that I
It'd be nice if it was a treadmill.
So I hopped on it. Well, I mean, okay, for starters, if it wasn't wintertime, I'd be outdoors running because I would just run 5K from home and be like, okay, I'm far enough away now that like the only way to get back is I have to run back, and it's not so much of a mental battle. But it's wintertime here, and it was kind of cold out, so I was like, I'll just go to the Good Life. I went to the Good Life, and I got on there, and 10 kilometers is equal to 6.21 miles, which is what the treadmills are measured in. And it was a fucking battle. It's like we'll go to the gym.
You had to
we'll
set a certain speed as well. You couldn't just like walk it out. It was 10K nonstop. You had to torture yourself. If you walked ever, it didn't count towards your 10 kilometers. But you couldn't stop. You could walk if you needed to catch your breath, but that walking time didn't count towards your 10K.
And it was a battle, like a total, more physically. I like to think, if for the past little while, I've liked to think that I'm fairly active, athletic individual, that 5K, 10K, I could do that, just hop into it, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time I ran that long, but on the treadmill it took me about an hour, like just over an hour, and it was just as much a mental battle as it was physically.
Great punishment. Can I also note that you didn't meet your weekly goals when it was the poetry slam punishment?
I still have to do that.
You have to do a poetry slam. I have to do. For 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks where I didn't meet my goals as well. But to be fucking fair to myself, those weeks I set 1,000 goals. I always do this. I over goal, and I ended up having to run a 10K, and I also have to cold call a real estate firm for our real estate photography business as a punishment. The way you explained your 10K, I don't know if I can do what you did. You ran a 10K at 7 miles an hour the whole time.
Yeah.
You pushed through every bit of pain. Your legs are now hurt. You have a hurt ankle.
My body is aching right now. I think I've got a bit of a foot, like, permanent cramp or something. I don't know. I had to pop a Tylenol this morning. Like
good punishment, though.
That really took its toll on me. It was like every mile I got to, because we'll go to the gym and we'll warm up with like a mile run.
Yeah, mile warm up.
And it'll take about 7 or 8 minutes or so. Yeah, and it's like you get to the first mile and you're like, there's 5 more of these to go, and you're just standing there. It's like, how do I kill this time quickly?
I run a mile at 7 for my warm up, and by the end, I never want to run again.
Right?
And you have to do 5 more of those?
Dude, it was insanity.
I'm so scared. And also, our punishment this week, if we don't set our goals, is we have to take ice showers for the whole week. We can't use heat when we shower, and we have to shower a minimum 3 times. Let's just say I set a very reasonable amount of goals this week, and I plan to achieve them. So if it's doing anything, it's actually honing in our ability to set the proper amount of goals. But let's keep moving. We're deep into this epi. Let's get into what we've accomplished this year as a fucking podcast, baby. Season 1 is done. We have stats. I'm talking statistics. I'm talking numbers. I'm talking what's it when it's a bunch of digits from different areas. Stats. We did it. We did a full year. This is the end of season 1. And I have to say, the podcast is responsible for almost all the major improvement in our lives this year.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. Let's first talk about
should we give the numbers first? Okay. Statistics from 2018. Number of episodes.
26.
Total number of plays as of right now, when I just checked, 5,974.
You could have very easily said 6,000 there, I think.
6,000.
I think
I didn't
5,000.
I'm honest.
995.
It's a little more suspenseful.
0.8.
I don't know. Top 5 countries. We had number 1, Canada. Number 2,
Shocker.
United States.
Shocker.
Number 3, United Kingdom.
Bing bong.
Number 4, Australia.
Good idea.
And number 5, can any of you guess what number 5 would have been? Indonesia.
Bing bong bang. We also, can we pull up the list?
Yeah.
We're in a lot of countries.
It's kind of weird.
Like 50 or 60.
And at the top 5 cities, I'll just go through quickly, were Toronto, London, Ontario, North York.
That's a city?
I don't know. It's listed on SoundCloud as a city.
What up, North York?
Americans, they don't know geography of Toronto. Montreal and Mountain View.
Mountain View, California. But big shout outs. Let's pull up the list. A lot of unique places we were in.
Okay.
Okay,
countries.
Let's go down.
Let's go down.
No. Hold on. Go up there a little bit. These are countries that we have significant plays in. Go up a bit more.
Yeah.
Mexico, Austria, Ireland, Vietnam, Germany, Thailand, Turkey, Greece, Netherlands, Ecuador, France, Peru. These are all like, we're not just talking
United
like one or two
Arab
listens.
Emirates, Japan, Colombia, Russia, Singapore, Israel, Brazil, Panama, New Zealand, Barbados,
Republic of Korea. Is that north?
Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, Korea. No, I'm
French Guiana, Algeria, Kazakhstan,
Guatemala.
This is my wife.
This is
it's insane,
it's
man.
weird. It's weird.
So, big shout out. We first of all want to say thank you.
Thank you to all our listeners.
We've done no promotion other than word of mouth. I mean, like, yeah, we did some giveaways, but
we do some like posts on Facebook and stuff, but
literally,
nothing
I'm
too
talking
insane.
the bare minimum. This is all from word of mouth. Listeners, people getting. We have an amazing ratings on iTunes, so I'm sure we've been on some lists on iTunes and stuff like that. We get a consistent average of 230 listens per episode, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider that they're an hour and a half sagas sometimes, that is amazing. And the amount of hours listened and the amount of devices, thank you, because it means a lot. And I want to say, like, the story of season 1 was figuring our lives out. Like, as Robbie said, it was an accountability project. We were in a dark place. We didn't know who we were, what we wanted to be, and we weren't achieving anything. And we set out, we made a commitment as an exercise and as a commitment to figure out who we wanted to become. And that was the theme of season 1. Talk to a bunch of people, listen to all the jams, and figure out what jam was right for us.
And listen to sort of the advice and lessons that they had to offer.
And I have to say, it was a total success. Like, I'm looking at my list here. We basically, in season 1, figured out who we were, who we want to be. We know we wanted to be musicians. It was the one career that encompassed all of our passions and our dream. And as Gary Vee said, if you're good at something you like, not great at something you love, if you're good at something you like, tunnel vision. And we're good at the podcast, we're good at music, and we're good at the creative. So that's what we're doing.
We focus on that.
Things we achieved. So we started a band. We played 20 plus shows this summer.
Yeah.
We shot a music video. We recorded our first single. Robbie and I started a real estate photography company. I dug Wrist and Rye out of the dirt. Shout out Wrist and Rye. We got on a Maple Leaf recently. Wow, we've sold a couple hundred bracelets this year. Toronto Maple Leaf.
Oh yeah. Sick.
We got bracelets on the Maple Leaf. We kept our podcast commitment. We figured out, Robbie, as he said, his biggest achievement was just becoming someone who's doing the things he loves. He went from doing almost nothing towards his dreams to being someone who consistently works on his dreams. In the last 6 months, we started a band. We chose our band name. We played all those shows. Like, that was huge. And we now know who we want to be. So season 1, let's wrap it up with a little scroll through all the highlights,
all the episodes?
of the episodes before we talk about what we're going to do in season 2.
Cool.
It starts out with the intro, which has a huge number of listens. People really liked it.
Yeah.
We got
the
into...
intro. I remember when we recorded that too. We had no idea what we were doing, and we recorded maybe 3 different versions of the introduction.
Yeah.
And then we like spliced it all together to like fit the way that we wanted. And now it's nice now that we that we have it down to more of a process and sort of more of like a clear goal.
Oh my God, man.
Like goal in mind for what we want to accomplish throughout the episodes and how everything's going to run smoothly, so that we don't have to go back through and edit a bunch of nonsense out of it, because it is so time consuming.
I thought at first when we did that intro, we recorded, as I said, 3 or 4 different versions of the 45-minute podcast, like front to back, the same stories, the same everything, and we spliced it together. It took 6, 7, 8 hours of work, and I was like, if this is every podcast, I was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And then podcast 2 and 3 or episode 1 and 2, I guess, because the intro didn't count, was about condos, about renting. We learned a lot about putting together a plan, getting your family to help you out, taking advantage of whatever advantages you have, and if not, creating a plan around them. And a lot of people have given us good feedback about them finding their own places, which was amazing.
And we kind of deviated from the original sort of set out plan at the beginning in terms of like topics that we're going to cover and stuff, and just sort of switched over to focusing more on chatting with people who are doing these things and getting their story and, you know, kind of lessons that you can learn from that. So, I mean, the podcast sort of came into its own by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Which was kind of nice. And, you know, all it took was just us, like, we had no idea where it was going to go, but it just, you know, getting it started and being consistent with it helps you figure it out.
That's the only way you figure it out. If we were to just sit there and think about doing it, we'd never do it. So let's go through the highlights. We had Ben on early, letting go of the outcomes.
Ben,
powerful
absolute
guy,
stud.
Yeah, he's always got the best stuff. Good advice. He's a guy constantly working on himself and working on motivational messages and life design. So he always has some good stuff.
If there was a captain of the Too Many Jams hockey team, it would be Ben Djurdjevic.
Ben, we named you captain of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a big moment. A lot of congratulations. We had Chris Follis on early with his Into the Wild podcast, spending almost over a year and a half in South American countries, fully immersed, guerrilla warfare style. A guy just as lost as we were that just took off, figured it out, and now he's in Australia. He's living in a van with his girlfriend. We talk all the time. He's such a lad. That was such a fun episode, just hearing about what it was like. Sorry
for the brief interruption.
Yeah, brief interruption.
We just got another offer for a gig.
Let's go, money. Blop.
Let's go.
Our Just Be Better episode where Robbie and I finally figured out what mentality is. One of the biggest shifts in our productivity in 2018 was learning about mentality, that all the things in our life are under our control. Our body, our mind, everything can be rewired, and all of our issues were from fundamental issues in our head. Mentality was huge. Recommend that one. We got drunk on Pod Smashed. We had a couple girls on to talk about Tinder dating hookups. One of our
that was good
top episodes.
Johnny Drinks came on. You know,
talk to this palateless freak about wine and
and how to hone in that palate. Blake Fly, appreciation was fantastic.
Really cool message from Blake Fly about reaching out and stuff like that. And we'll actually get into our favorite fan reach outs back to us. And a lot of them quote the Blake Fly episode as the reason that they thought to reach out to us or connect.
Yeah.
And a lot of good feedback on that.
Cool stories with Blake Fly. Yeah, if you haven't listened to that, you know, he's got a lot of he's got some neat stories about his whole sort of philosophy and appreciation, and it's worth hearing because it could. And
he got married this year. Congrats, dab on that.
Smeaton.
Always, yes.
Chatty Cathy. Always lots of stories.
Lots of stories, and also he was talking about wanting to work in the event space and all the stuff he's done, and now he's I don't know what his exact job is, but he's working for Loud Luxury as some sort of tour management assistant role, something like. I haven't talked to him, but that's a big role. He got to go to Vegas this year with them and swing his fat weenie around like he likes to do.
Shine Eli.
No, episode 10 was when we was about Famous. When we finally committed to being musicians was about episode 10, not too far in.
Yeah.
When we figured out a little bit about what we wanted to be.
Eli, also another great story. One of our close buddies who runs this company called Shine the Light On. And it's all about mental health.
He's killing it, by the way.
He's doing extremely well.
We got to check back in with him. His company's doing so well. He's working with all these famous artists. If you ever see Robbie and I at cool stuff like meeting Billy Talent, Chris Hadfield.
Yeah, in VIP sections, it's most likely because Eli got his passes to go there.
So his company's doing fantastic. He's getting on all these celebrities. So big shout out to Eli.
Justin.
Sorry.
Justin was good.
Justin was great because a lot of guys identified with his path of just being like a beauty, drinking beers and like being social.
And I got a good story about this also, was that some of my buddies actually ended up, because Justin at the time was looking for a beer rep in Toronto, and some of my buddies actually ended up reaching out to Justin because we put his contact info. So he used it as a bit of a plug to find some guys my age looking for jobs that are sort of cool and would fit the role, and ended up reaching out to him afterwards and like talking about the job. And I don't know if
the job
like what materialized from that, but
and also they just loved him. He's honestly one of the best lads on the planet.
Kristen, so many compliments about Kristen all the time. She's a fantastic speaker. And
everyone falls in love with her, and
she's so open about everything, and she provides great advice. And
for all the guys that reach out about Kristen, sorry to let your love wither and die. She's got a boyfriend. It looks like it's going really well. So, maybe just fall in love, or put that love in a cabinet for now.
Or just put that love into your headphones, and you can
and just fall in love with her voice.
Yeah.
She's been on a few times. She'd definitely be a big assistant captain.
Joey Gaulish,
holy shit,
I really like that episode.
One of my favorites, only because it was just like it was the right words at the right time. Robbie and I had the mentality stuff down. We knew what we wanted to be, but we were still struggling with one component, and that was the identity component. The fact that we weren't committed to our identity and sure focus on what we wanted to be. And his words honed us in, and I don't think I've been the same since. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, Joey, good lad. Harry Dearden, that was
what a cool story. Yeah.
And that was also a fun interview. We spent the afternoon on his back patio
with Rico,
with
the Puerto
his
Rican
cute
rescue
little
dog
Rico, having a beer, and Harry chatting
cool story.
about
He's got a great app, another mental health advocate. Shout out Harry for a great epi.
Ezra Jordan and Lucas. This was a good relationship that we formed this year. Shout out to both those guys, both really good dudes, and have been extremely helpful. Lucas, we're playing a show at Tironi tonight, or
Lucas books us at
Tironi. Maybe not tonight when you're listening, but tonight, as in the day we're
recording this on Wednesday, the fucking
But anyways, and
12th.
Ezra, fantastic artist himself.
It was a cool episode to hear these guys and how they work together. Ezra, I think he hit 2 million streams this year. We opened up for him at Supermarket. He's so talented. We saw him play live at the X as well on the main stage. They're such nice guys. They're talented. They make great music, so check them out. It was a good episode too.
Ben and Kristen we had on again because they were so highly talked about.
And Brendan
was cool. Yeah,
Brendan, the journey to digital nomadism. What a killer episode. So much feedback off that. He fired people up. He's now living and working in Mexico, just like he said. Talk about a guy who says he's going to do something and does it. Shout out to Brendan for that episode, working remotely in Mexico like an absolute savage.
Scooter,
Scott Goodwin, love him. Gave us an inside look into music production, how to make an album, a little bit of the technical talk there. I got a lot of weird reach outs just of people being like, whoa, that's not the world I'm in at all, but I loved hearing about it. So big shout out to him for also playing with our band when we on our bassist was out of town.
Thank you, Scott.
And for letting us practice with him in the basement. All these people I'm sure we're gonna have on again, like Pearl.
The Pearl, yeah.
He was on again.
You'll be hearing from him again.
He's gonna be on our Christmas episode. He's an absolute lad. He's listened to every episode.
Yeah, he's one of our loyal listeners. Top
in fact,
3.
Yeah.
For sure, probably.
So
shout out to you, Pearl.
Thanks for being a good lad. We had a fun partying at the Gang of Youth concert the other day. And thanks for coming on our surprise Christmas episode. That's not a surprise anymore.
And then last but not least, Mr. Mark Stanuitz. That was fun. It's always fun hanging with Mark. He's just
sorry. What was his last name again?
Stanush.
Yeah,
I farmed that in the episode and right here.
Listen to episode 24. Listen to Robbie absolutely farm his last name.
Stanush.
And he just lit it up again. Stanuitz, not his last name.
Yeah.
Congrats him on the baby. Congrats on the amazing job. The episode was so enjoyable for us to catch up.
It was so fun, yeah.
His philosophy about basically backing himself into a corner and fighting his way out is something that Robbie and I are going to apply. So what a good recap of all the episodes. And what a good year, Roberto. We've learned so much.
Great year.
Cheers.
Cheers,
cones. Now let's talk about season 2.
What's coming up? What's on the horizon for
Okay.
season 2, Trev?
Let me take a look here. Okay, so season 1 was about us figuring out what to do. Who are we? Like, that was our biggest. We were scared. I was 25, Rob's 26. Or sorry, I was 26, Rob's 25. And we didn't know who we were. And that's what season 1 was about. Now we have a foundation. We know who we are. We know what we want to become. When Joey said the identity that people want to collaborate with the most and all that, it's this. Us as rock stars, as podcast people, is the identity we get the most feedback from. We get the most, like, people wanting to collaborate and work with us, and it's just like, it makes us feel so good, and we know we want to do it. So season 2 is not who we want to become anymore. It's going to be about the journey to becoming famous. Our band is John Famos. The podcast is also, as if you know what the slang of famous means, it's another famous activity. Did you spill your beer?
Nope.
Yep.
Fell over, but didn't spill though.
Attaboy. So this is going to be the path to famous. So what we're going to do in season 2 is we're going to have video now. I'm sure we're going to, just like our first intro episode last year that we got better from, I'm sure we'll figure out a better way to do video. We don't know how we're going to do it with guests. Some guests don't want to be on video, so
we're going to figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
If you're on the show, you're going to be on video. Get used to it.
Yeah. So video is a big thing we want to add in.
Because the lineup is so long for everyone who wants to be on the show.
Yeah. We're going to have... Now what we're going to do is, because it's a journey now...
Hold on. I need to put I'm getting hot here.
Yeah. Also, we have lights on us because of the video, and we're getting very warm. I take my shirt off, but I only have one fucking shirt on. So I'll just keep talking here.
I got my party shirt on.
Ooh-wee. So we're adding video, and we're gonna add every week podcast now. We're gonna continue
weekly.
We're gonna continue with our bi-weekly storyline of, talking to cool people, recapping about what we've learned and stuff like that. But we're gonna add in weekly our journey. Now that we're set on becoming famous in the new year, and we know who we are and what life's about for us, we're gonna record the journey going from at this point, which is 0. Like, we have a foundation set up. We did all the hard work setting up our foundation as musicians, but in the eyes of the music world, we are at 0 right now, and we're going to take that all the way to famous, and you're going to hear our progression through becoming famous. And I think it's going to be a really cool storyline to highlight. This is what we did here. This is how we got signed here, or this is how we got this done, and that's going to be awesome. So we're going to just keep growing that. The podcast, we're going to have hopefully some marketing next year. So we're actually going to market the cast finally. We'll do...
Yeah, we want to expand our audience for sure in the podcast, because like it's, we made it through the first year, and our goal was set out. We're going to
survive.
We're going to survive. We're going to make this happen, and, reevaluate at the end of the year. And so if we're gonna continue on this path, we gotta step up our game a little bit, which is why we're gonna add in the video feature, also the extra episode per week, and we want to expand our audience. So whether that's through marketing or through more sort of high profile guests,
getting our guests to actually share as well, us posting on social media.
Yeah, we're gonna put some more effort into it so that everyone
reaching out to blogs
benefits, essentially.
Yeah, like we want to, honestly. So let's talk about. I'm going to talk about right now. My highlight. We got a lot of feedback of this for this podcast. Of one, either they were entertained, or two, it actually benefited them, which is what we want. Like, we wanted to not only figure our lives out, but we were hoping that the information we collect helps people to be better themselves. And I'm going to read my highlight of a girl, and I won't say her name, but you obviously know who you are, who sent a message in that I loved. And basically she said, "Hey Trav, I've been commuting to Brampton the last couple weeks, interviewing for a job with the city. The commute was getting to me, and the only podcast I had downloaded on my phone was Too Many Jams. Within 2 weeks, I had listened to all 8 episodes. This was obviously earlier in the year. It gave me a lot of motivation to pick my ass up and go to the interviews. I ended up being offered a better job than the one I applied for. The last episode I listened to was the appreciation episode with Blake Fly, so I thought I'd extend a thanks. Thanks for the listen and the motivation to do sick things always. And now that I have the job, I hope that you keep doing a podcast so I have something to listen to on my commute. Fucking right. Like,
I like that a lot.
Just the fact that we said at this podcast, we're recording this for that exact reason. And even if one person got helped out by it, it'd be worthwhile. So that was one person of many that have reached out and said it's helped them in some way.
Yeah.
Even if it's just making a commute better, that's why we're going to try to add in on Christmas. We're dropping another Pod Smashed, funny stories. When we say we're going to put out weekly stuff, it's going to force us to add in more funny, just stupid stories.
Turkeys.
Yeah.
Stories, so anything that's sort of relevant throughout the week.
We're going to entertain. We're going to hopefully educate with the guests spitting their knowledge. And we're going to tell the story of two guys that just want to get famous. And hopefully by the end of year 2, just like the end of year 1 when we achieved our goals, by the end of year 2, we have our goals for 2019. It's basically... we want to drop so we shot a music video, as I said. We're going to launch our band officially. We're going to have our social media accounts up. We're going to have our music video launch. We're going to launch a 3-song EP with the music video at least.
At least 3 songs.
We want to get, like, basically we want to get famous. So we want to hit 100,000 streams on Spotify next year. We want to get one of our songs on the radio. We want to... with all the effort we're going to put the podcast, we want to at least double, and our goal is to quadruple our podcast statistics. So as I said, we want to get mainstream attention to the podcast. Whether it's a blog, a reach out, or a collaboration with a big podcaster that's mainstream, something to bring us into the mainstream spotlight there, and hopefully mainstream with the band. We want to get either signed or hooked up with. I'm not signed, I don't know what the word is, but basically we want to shop around our music so that we can open up for a big band at a big venue.
Yeah.
We want to play big shows all summer.
We want to play more shows, get the band going, take it to the next level. And I think that's sort of all inclusive of what Trav just stated there with those goals. So,
and we
big
want to
year
move
ahead.
out. We want to move out.
Oh, and move out too, yeah.
As you can see, we're in my lovely basement right now with this backdrop. We want to move out. 2019 is a year, and it's going to happen soon enough.
2019 is a year. 2018 was a good one. 2019, let's ring it in.
And I think we want to get back to California as well, at least once. That was such a fun trip.
At least once.
If you follow us on social media, we just put up some flashback memories from our Cali trip.
Especially when I ate shit doing
Robbie
that backflip.
Ate absolute shit.
I love that you sent it into some accounts too.
I sent it into Barstool Sports, Drilled, which is an account of people dying. I sent it into Kook Slams, Jerry of the Day, Ridiculousness. Hopefully that gets picked up. But Ben sent us a video, and shout out to Ben. It was this time last year, maybe 10 days ago. We were in LA sitting on the beach with Ben. We just had a couple-hour conversation laying out our year ahead, setting this accountability group up, and just realizing that we want more from life, and we weren't going to stop till we got it. We had a good year, man. A lot of memories, a lot of good times.
And you know what? We'll do a better job, and I think the weekly episodes will help with this also, but for 2019 we'll do a better job keeping track of all sort of the stuff that we just listened. So when we do recaps, like maybe throughout the year or at the end of the year next year, we'll be able to like sort of like have more access and be able to think of everything much much more essentially.
I think just more effort into it as well. Like I'm starting to write down podcast notes and stuff like that, like funny jokes. Like we'll start to like we fuck up a lot, like turkeys and like fuck ups and funny stories. I have 100 of them. The one we're gonna drop on Christmas, the little bonus Christmas present for you all and for the Jews out there, mid Hanukkah surprise. It's a funny story, and we have many.
Hanukkah's over.
Right. Late Hanukkah after party. Hanukkah's over?
Hanukkah's over, yeah.
Oh. Nice.
So I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to say?
I do want to say, Instagram, if you're listening, your algorithm sucks shit, dick. You force me to accidentally like the same person's photo or same person's last like 3 or 4 photos. And it's causing a lot of unrest out there because people think I'm just going deep in their profile, liking 3 or 4 photos, but it's like the algorithm spitting it out. And I'm getting like DMs from people, like maybe girls that I follow that are like, hey, like you've been liking my stuff. And
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, and they're just like what's up? And
That's face blindness. Don't blame Instagram for.
what do you have? Face blindness. It's Instagram. So when I'm on Instagram, I spread the fucking love. If I see your photo, I'm giving it a like and maybe even a comment, but most likely I'm just tapping it and I'm going through and I'm like, it's free for me to give it to you. And I like anything almost my friends do, like unless it's something egregious.
Be supportive.
Yeah, but the problem is liking every photo. When Instagram algorithm will put out in one scroll through the Instagram when I'm sitting there for 10 minutes, I'll like someone's last 3 or 4 photos. And I guess other people take note of that and they make sure not to do it. But you're fucking me up. Also, something I was thinking about the other day when I was at the gym that I wanted to sprinkle into the cast.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was working out with Kristen, and we were talking about how she's getting calluses now on her hands, right? And
Okay.
I was like, oh, like, I feel bad for your boyfriend, like the rough handies he's gonna get now. You know what I mean? And I started to think about it, and I was like, wait, like I have calluses, and I give myself handies all the time. Like a guy like that jerks off sometimes. And I was thinking about it. I was like, do calluses make for better handies or worse handies? And I was thinking like either workout girls, like those like muscly girls on the internet that like were like, oh, like I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, like that's insane. Callous hands and jacked probably give the absolute best handies of all time. Think about the grip strength. Think about the callus for extra texture.
I don't know about that.
It's just something I was thinking about at the gym the other day. I was sitting there for 5 minutes.
I think it's hitting the right spots. I think it's more knowledge than
just pure attributes.
Grip strength and yeah.
This is a little inside look into what I think about when I'm sitting at the gym. If you see me lifting weights and I'm staring off, I'm thinking about how good workout girls' handy is
going to be.
To be honest, I haven't got a handy in forever.
OTP.
Like at least 0 on the board for 2018. So I just want to leave you guys with that tidbit. That was a fun epi, Rob. Cheers to
2019.
And I guess we'll see you next
Tuesday. Adios.